Right behind me, a family shot a three-legged creature that attacked them and left scratch marks on their house.
Wherever it ran in front of the truck, it had that third leg.
It was seen many more times all over the town, spread through the news, and people got so scared that they formed a mob to hunt and kill this creature. But the very first sighting is at this house.
There was no way to contact the family that saw this happen, so I'm just gonna go up there and knock and hope, because there's a lot of no trespassing signs.
How's it going? I'm making a video documentary about what's called the Enfeild monster, and we're trying to find the house it happened at. Was that here, or do you know?
I seen it online, I looked at shit up once. I have no clue.
Well, this wasn't the guy that got attacked by the creature. We later would find the correct man. But in order to ask him the right questions, we have to go over exactly what happened at this house. So there's 3 houses on this property. This new one, this one, where a second sighting happened, and this broken down one, where I believe the first sighting with this creature happened.
Henry McDaniel, he gets home pretty late, around 9:30, and his daughter and son are freaking out. They're pretty young. It's their first time staying home alone. They say a creature came and it scratched their screen door and then kicked their AC unit out of the window. But then he hears scratching outside. So, just to be safe, he grabs his .22 Glock, like any sensible man would. He opens the door, but he hears some shuffling in the bushes. And he's like, once again, still thinks it's an animal. But then it three-leggedly wobbles out the bushes. I don't know how a three-legged creature would move, but he says it's moving oddly, kind of like a little hop to it.
That shit was crippled, bro.
Yeah, but once he sees this creature, sees what it is, it's clearly not something normal. He thinks it's aggressive. So this is when he takes out his gun and he shoots it. And he says it has no effect on this creature. He literally said, with his third leg. And apparently this creature leaps only 3 times to get to the railroad. He says it's about 50 to 75 feet away. I'd say that's about how far we are now.
It's really hard to tell, but we believe that this broken house behind us is where McDaniel saw the creature.
I was a little unsure at first, but I actually think this might be the house. Like, that looks like what the front of the house was in the picture. If this was his front door right here, like he has a view of the train tracks right there. You could have seen the creature right here. This is where he shot it. It's behind those bushes over there, lots of bushes over there.
It seemed like the correct spot, and this helped us understand what exactly happened that night. But shortly after Henry McDaniel shot this thing, he was so worried that he called the sheriff.
They get here and they investigate. There's no body, obviously. There's no blood, which I would, if something got shot, I would think there's a little bit of blood. But the officers do notice tracks. Dogs or most animals, mammals, have 5 pads. This one, though, has 6.
But it gets way stranger because when the police are interviewing around, they talk to the neighbors, where their kid says he saw this creature earlier and got attacked by it.
So Greg Garrett's story goes like this. He's outside playing earlier that evening, so I'm guessing like around 6
or 7.
But he describes it the exact same way. He says it's 4 to 5 feet tall, gray, even the same color eyes. But he says this creature attacks him and it shreds up his shoes. And when the police officers look, I mean, his shoes are like kind of torn apart. The officers do kind of believe he's being legitimate because he's extremely scared telling this. And like, I mean, a 10-year-old wouldn't be that good of an actor. And also his shoes, they're torn up. And at this point, this thing's getting put all over the news and people are genuinely getting like scared from this because it's tried to attack 2 people. Someone shot it and it apparently did nothing. Like, this guy is a beast, bro. But there's still a few more sightings. And the next one comes from McDaniel again, 3 a.m. about a week and a half later on the train tracks.
And this sighting is where we actually get evidence. So this takes us to the 3rd sighting that happened at 3 a.m. about a week and a half later. McDaniel, who's living somewhere right on this property, he comes out because he hears his dogs howling, and he looks out on these railroad tracks, and he sees it again. The same creature he recognizes, the weird 3-legged walk, and the glowing red eyes, the gray skin, everything. But this time it's not trying to get into the house, it's not trying to attack him, so he doesn't shoot out of the kindness of his heart. We were talking about this a minute ago. We wonder how a 3-legged thing walks. Whoa, there it is. Why are you twerking?
No, you were hitting the, He was just dingling his 3rd leg around, bro.
But to get the actual evidence, we had to walk down the railroad to where this thing was seen.
I'm reckoning it's some animal that got its leg ran over by a train.
How is that not a bigger theory?
It's just a normal animal with a missing leg. Damn, and people were shooting at it. Poor guy. That's actually really sad. I just got tripped out by the shadow.
Shit.
See that?
Yeah.
Did that happen to you too?
Yeah. Holy shit.
Nah, I think that's just the metal, like cooling off. I hope. But the next spot, very important. McDaniel makes a call to WWKI radio. Apparently, there's this group of people with this radio station that are already looking into investigating this. And he tells them that he sees it again. They get their 3 investigators on this, and they come down here. They have the next sighting, which is really important, but the actual location for this thing, all they describe it as is an abandoned building. So let's just continue on the tracks for a little, because that's what they said. They said they just kind of followed the tracks. This was about 60 years ago. Just throwing that out there. If that building was abandoned 60 years ago, it is in shambles now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't think this abandoned building is here anymore. But some really, really important things go down at this abandoned building. They get the call from the boy McDaniel over there at WWKI radio. And the main guy who runs this thing, his name's Rick Rainbow. Crazy name. He brings this other guy who's a big game hunter, Ed Phillips. Them and I believe one other person, unnamed, come up here. Near an abandoned building, they see this thing again, Arzu. Well, for them the first time. And not only do they see it, get ready for this, guys. Hold your balls. They hear it and get a recording of that. This recording, I can't find anywhere on the internet. Someone else listens to the tape. That's a cryptozoologist, someone that studies weird creatures specifically. And they also visit and they hear a similar sound. And they say, apparently according to them, it's like nothing they've ever heard. And then we have some other witnesses, unnamed, that say it was like a blood-curdling howl. I think it's very possible this could have been an animal near the area. So there's a few animals, their scream I have pulled up. So first we have a red fox. I would say that's like a blood-curdling howl. High-pitched though? I don't think that's that high-pitched. Then we go to the barn owl. Don't owls just say who? Apparently that's an owl. That's literally an owl. That's crazy. Raccoon, also in the area. That actually sounds a lot scarier than I thought. Next, it could have just been a wild cat. Low-key, that's kind of sounds like it. Okay, and then the last one, a coyote is also in the area. This is actually probably what we heard earlier. Wait, aim the camera that way. At this point, after they record this sound, it's absolutely everywhere. It's made state news. Like, it is as big as it can possibly get. So people in this town of just 400 people at the time get so scared, they form a group to hunt and kill this thing. They have guns, they're locked and loaded. So we're gonna go around where they met up and shit goes down there. I'll just say that. So we drove about 3 miles to where this mob met up to hunt and kill this creature. We're right outside of Enfeild, about 3 miles from McDaniel's house. And this is where the group meets up. They call themselves the Enfeild Vigilante Squad. I think that name is ass. I'm gonna be real. I feel like we could come up with something better. The three-legged killers. And so this is a group of 5 people. The one problem is it's all people under 20. Their kind of plan here is they meet up here and they just go around shooting stuff. So apparently one of them claims that they did see it and he shot it. But I'm kind of thinking, bro, they probably were like drunk and shot a dog or something. Because they also did have alcohol. I don't know if any of them were serious or if they were just trying to have fun. It does seem fun. I'll give them that. But cop pulls up, arrests all of them, every single one of them, because they're shooting stuff, which is big no-no if you didn't know, guys. Alcohol plus shooting random stuff, bad idea. And after that, the police goes to McDaniel and he basically says, like, shut the hell up, buddy. You need to stop talking about this. And that's basically the end of it. And from here, there weren't many leads to go off of. I mean, the original house was torn down and the neighbor, quote, said, "I have no clue." So we went into the only store in town, asked around with no luck until somebody came up to our car.
His dad is the one that sold.
Yeah.
Henry lives in, and I think he lives on the left-hand side of the road. He drives like he was either the son or he's the one that saw it.
Okay.
And he's your go-to guy if you really want to know something.
I do. Well, thank you so much for flagging us up. Dude, this is big. That was so clutch. Okay, so we just went in the gas station to take a little piss. Actually, a fat piss. It was a nice stream, 10 out of 10. That's besides the point.
So basically I found out that this man was his son, and we found what town he lives in, which is only 100 people there, and what car he drives. So our plan was to drive around the town and find his car. I don't want to leak this information or dox him, so we're not gonna say that.
So we can actually talk to the first-hand witness. That is so crazy.
And guys, just to put this into perspective, I believe that Henry McDaniel is the only living person who had a sighting of this creature. But this is the only alive man who was part of the original sightings. Okay, yeah, there's really not even many houses, so I feel like this should be pretty easy. Unless there's a garage and the car is parked in the garage. That would be unfortunate. Oh, there it is. That is crazy. Oh shit. Why am I nervous, bro? Okay, so I'm just gonna go up there and see if he's willing to talk. Hopefully he is. Yeah, that's my plan. It's a little bit weird because it's like, hey, I found you. Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right. What's up?
I'm not sure if you're Henry. Are you? Someone from Enfeild told me you were around here. We're making a video documentary about the Enfeild monster.
No, I'm not.
And there went our only lead. But there was still one sighting that is extremely compelling because unlike all the other sightings that are nearly 60 years ago, this one happened just 4 years ago.
So unfortunately, all the witnesses of this creature are either deceased or do not want to talk about it at all. There's one last sighting that happened in 2022, way far away from all the other sightings.
About 3.5 to 4 feet tall at the back.
Meaning this creature could still exist. But even this guy did not want to talk about it. But we're driving to this spot where he saw it right now. And while we're on our way there, I'm gonna go over what I think are the legitimate theories. Like aliens. It seems almost that McDaniel himself thought it was aliens. He said that if they find this creature, they'll find a lot of them and they won't be from this planet, which is a pretty crazy theory. No way to prove that. The hoax theory. This is just that McDaniel made it up, everybody made it up. The second sighting from the kid, Greg Garrett, he later said that he did make it up. His shoes were destroyed. And so he probably heard the story of this creature and was like, hey dude, this is a way to get new shoes. He might be the genius behind all of this because that's a diabolical plan for a 10-year-old kid to come up with. I don't think it was a hoax. I think McDaniel believes what he saw. I believe the other people believe what they saw. The next one, the kangaroo theory. This is a theory that it was a kangaroo. The biggest reason I think this theory could be true is a man in Ohio, just one state over, had a missing kangaroo. Now, how did it get all the way over here? I have no idea. But like, it matches like the third leg appearance, the hops, even the height is usually around 5 feet, which is what it was described as. It doesn't match the pink eyes, the skin being gray, but it was nighttime when this thing was seen every time. The big problems with this: the tracks don't match. There probably would have been a tail track too, like you probably would have been able to tell. And then the biggest thing is that McDaniel himself had seen kangaroos. He actually was in the military and he was like, no, this was not a kangaroo. He was firm on that. He put his foot down. He put his third leg down. And then the final theory, which is probably the most far-fetched theory, is that it was an escaped circus animal. That railroad, around that time, there would be circus carts that go through it. And a popular attraction in these circuses around that time was to have genetically abnormal, I guess I'll say, either people or animals. That's pretty far-fetched though. I don't know if I can wrap my head around that. But we're almost to where this new sighting was. And once again, this sighting could be completely fake. I don't know. But we're gonna look around the area. If he saw it 4 years ago, maybe we see something. So this is the weirdest sighting of them all because it happens 60 years later. A man named Zach Starrick. He's driving down from a fishing trip and he drives right through Enfeild, and then as he's getting to this intersection up here, the intersection between I-14 and I-45, out of the corner of his eye, out of the corner of his windshield, he sees something flash across. I mean, if it was seen 60 years later in this area, 4 years ago, I feel like it could be here again. He says right before this intersection right here, and then he says in a ditch. So I'm assuming just like this thing right here. But he describes it the exact same way. He says
about 3.5 to 4 feet tall at the back, and it had dark gray skin, and it was running on 2 feet. But then I saw whenever it ran in front of the truck, it had that third leg with the tripod set up with the legs.
this sighting, if we found out like it was a legitimate sighting, it would change the whole thing, because it'd mean this creature is still here. It would mean it's probably not a kangaroo. It's some sort of, I don't even know, unless kangaroos are breeding. So I don't think kangaroos can survive in this weather for sure. I always get comments on how dim my flashlight is. Does it look better, guys? Is it better now? Does it look good?
It's a good flashlight.
I just changed the batteries. It wasn't the flashlight that's bad, it was the batteries. It's not what you are, it's what's inside of you.
What?
Let that sink in. I'm not even seeing any like tracks. This is a very big open area.
I see 2 red glowing things over there.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what he saw, bro. All right, guys. I'm gonna give my conclusion. I don't think this sighting's legitimate. I think McDaniel, as well as some of the other people, saw something. I'm putting my third leg down right now, and I'm saying I think it was a kangaroo. And I think it for a few reasons. It's just the hops and the third leg thing is literally, it just sounds like a kangaroo. It could have also been kind of the circus theory, I think. I think a circus is likely to have a kangaroo, and the circus is going right on the same railroad as him. I think that's probably the most likely thing.
I mean, I could agree. It's like some deformed kangaroo.
Wait, why does it have to be deformed and ugly?
Bro, I mean, if someone shot at it, it's not gonna be like a cute little kangaroo.
That's a good point.
They can be like, what the fuck?
I don't think we'll ever truly know, but I think the most likely thing it was is a kangaroo for sure. I love you guys. This was a kangaroo for sure.